This was Sam's genius idea, and now we're being held up by Sam.
Was it my idea?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And now he's gone.
Hello, and welcome back to the Paddle and Fin podcast, After Hours. I'm Brian.
I'm
buddy.
lost.
Hey, we said this was After Hours, anything goes. Let's just throw something together.
We don't have to whisper sweet nothings to each other, though. I mean, you could bring a little more intensity to than that, you know.
After Hours.
Oh, Lord.
Where all your dreams come true.
That's more creepy right there.
Wow.
So we were just discussing.
I haven't had enough Sun King beer yet.
We were. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be our most popular segment on the podcast.
Welcome to the new segment, the long-awaited, well overdue Paddle and Fin After Hours, when you really get to meet the guest, the host,
True hosts come out tonight
of Paddle and Fin.
Let's talk about that real quick before we get to my other subject. So, do you guys find yourself acting different when you're recording your podcast? Because I'll be honest, like, you guys all know me. I swear a lot. And then we get on the podcast and I just turn it off like a light switch.
It's the glasses.
And
Yeah, no curse shades.
I know Ricketts and Randall are like, how the hell do you do that? You know? Because, I mean, I'll just go, and then I'm like, all right, welcome to the Paddle and Fin podcast. And, like, I shut off, and I don't know. You guys do anything in particular?
I just try to think I'm talking to my 4-year-old and 2-year-old without yelling at my guest. Yeah.
I don't know if that was an insult.
Yeah, I was.
Or
Yeah.
you might want to clear that one.
Broccoli, damn it!
Are you referring to when you're talking to your co-host?
Yeah.
Are you ripping on Brad there?
I try to think like I got to keep this clean for kids. You know.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense.
Not that they're illiterate and
no. I mean, my kids are smart, bro. Better back up.
They're already in the 9th grade and they're only 5.
Yeah. But they're not that smart.
I'm raising Doogie Howser over here.
Look, my mom's still rolling around with the bumper sticker that says my kid caught a 10-pound bass while your kid was, studying for SATs or something. I don't remember, but
I like that.
So I've seen probably the funniest bumper sticker in that same subject, and it was somewhere in Dayton, and it said, "Screw your honor student, my kid can roll a joint in a hurricane with hockey gloves on."
Wow. That's mighty specific.
Yeah, I was like, wow, man. I was like, I'm blown away by the sheer skill, yet brazen. Like, oh yeah, I couldn't. But that's how we roll in D-Town.
Welcome to Dayton.
On behalf of Paddle and Fin and all our sponsors, we would like to say we do not condone such actions, and we are merely just stating what Josh read on the back of a car.
Right.
Welcome to 2020, where you got to put a disclaimer on everything.
Right.
This show is not for children, so yeah, YouTube, don't pull it down.
Sam, have you done a podcast where you've run it solo by yourself? Well, yeah, you do like live stuff or.
Well, but even, yeah, I mean, I've done go lives and stuff for my staff pages. But a podcast solo? I don't think so, man.
Because Josh, you just did one, right? Solo?
Yeah, I've done maybe 2. I think I did one a while ago, possibly, but I did the one with Rogue, and that one went really well, actually. So that was it. It'll drop next week, not this week. So
let's just be honest. I mean, ever since Brad came to your show, you've been doing them solo technically anyway.
Shots
No, that's
fired.
not fair.
Shots fired.
Brad's not here to defend himself. That's not fair. Brad, I miss you. You can come back anytime you want. You're doing a great job. I retract my statement. Sorry.
And now you just made Daniel Perry sad.
Damn.
In the same sentence.
Damn. You're great, Dan. You're a great guy too. I love you on the show. You bring a whole nother element. Thanks, bro.
That's funny. I'm just wondering what you guys think, like solo podcast versus having a co-host.
I like both.
Susie does most of her solo.
Yeah, I kind of like both, you know. I don't know.
I prefer
At
solo.
first it was weird, but then now I'm just like, all right, I got it.
I
Brian,
prefer solo.
you prefer solo, Brian?
Yeah. Any
All
of you
right.
guys want Ricketts
Hey,
or Randall?
good night, guys. It's been fun.
Right?
I'm just
We
kidding.
just all hang
I'm
up
just
right
kidding.
now.
Wait, are you saying we're your guest tonight, Brian? You're the host. We're your guest. Is that what's going on?
Nope. This was your idea, so
You keep saying that. I don't feel like it was, but I'll take it. Whatever.
You were like, we're all on the phone, kind of. Why don't we just do a podcast?
and then
Oh.
I sent out a message to the group and Susie was like, "Yeah, I'll get on." She's like, "What the hell did I get into?"
All right, cool. I guess it was my idea. All right, I'll take it.
It was a great idea.
Thanks. I appreciate that. You know.
Superb.
So here's what I kind of find with solo versus having a host. I think sometimes interviewing people solo is actually a little bit easier. Because you kind of sometimes almost like talk over each other, or you go to ask a question, when they are. So it's kind of a timing issue sometimes.
Yeah.
But for me, when we're reviewing products, it's a lot easier, obviously, to do it when you have two people because you're kind of comparing and bouncing stuff off each other. So
I think that's my problem. I talk too much and I talk over people. I always catch myself. I'm like, "Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead."
I'm the worst at that.
Are you?
Yeah. I've done it like 6 times already this episode.
It's cool. I don't hold it against you.
You know what that says about us?
What's that?
We're not good listeners.
it's true. Brian's horrible at listening.
What do
Yeah,
you mean?
here I am sitting in the background. I'm just like, do 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 do.
Susie's listening.
Susie's a listener.
She's a true
You know
friend.
what?
Susie's a
I hate
doer.
to say it, but most females are great listeners.
Yeah,
Most guys, not so great at listening.
I agree with
That's
that
why-
statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's just who we are.
It's a male trait.
It is.
Do you
'Cause we always
find
wanna be
do you
right.
find that struggle with your husband as well? Is he a good listener?
I mean,
Yeah, that's like
You
I don't
know.
know. He's on the line there.
Does your husband listen to our podcast? Or your-
he's listened to a couple of mine. Hey, Adam, do you listen to my podcast?
Oh.
To the first few, but not since then? Oh, okay, so no.
Where's the love, Adam? Where's the love?
My
I know,
wife,
right?
I've tried
That's
to get
fair. I
my
don't
wife
think-
to listen to our podcast,
Yeah.
and she has reluctantly a couple times, and I'm pretty sure she's tried to take a steak knife to her earlobes.
I was gonna say jump out of the car while it's
Eardrums.
My
She's
wife-
like,
well, my
you're
wife.
monotone. This is boring. I don't care. What are you
My-
talking about? Are you still talking about fishing?
Yeah.
Like,
So-
who
so
cares
you
what you
fish?
caught a fish on?
Yeah, she's like, so you go fish and then you make a show about fishing? Like,
And guys who never listen to anything sit there and listen to 2 hours of you talking about fishing.
yes.
My wife's like, I don't understand half the words that you're talking about. She's like, this is dumb. Can you turn on something else?
Now, here's a question. does your wife, Susie, your husband, does your husband know much about fishing? Does he fish?
No, he doesn't.
Okay. So my wife, when she does try to act interested or wants to be in, she'll try and use like fishing terms and she blends them together. I love it. Like
I love it.
the Ned buzzbait or the spinner buzz or the
He's giving me a dirty look right now too.
the plopper whopper.
I like
Hey,
that better,
Adam,
actually.
What's
Hey,
the
Sam,
fishing
that's the
name?
new name. The Plopper Whopper. That sounds
Plopper.
much cool.
I agree.
Oh,
I
he
agree.
actually got one right. He said shaky head.
Ooh,
Yeah.
hey, that's my favorite bait right there.
That's-
man,
well,
man
because
after
he
my
was-
own heart.
He was probably the one holding the camera for Susie when she was doing her top 5 baits. He just remembered.
Dude, I'm telling you what.
The shaky head wasn't one of my top 5.
I thought it was.
No.
It was one of my top 5, which I need to do that video, by the way. I still owe you that, Brian. Sorry. I know I said I'd do that 2 weeks ago. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Or were you talking about that on a podcast? Or am I
That's
thinking
probably
of our
you,
group
you,
chat?
you might be thinking because I sent you my shaky head setup
That's what it
for the
was.
NC. That's probably what it was. Yeah.
It was one of your top 5. Sorry.
I'm actually
Shaky-
working on a blog about shaky head fishing, but not the traditional
Oh.
baits.
Heck yeah.
All
When's
right.
that going to be out, Sam?
Well, knowing me, a month or 2.
Oh. Sounds about right.
I have
Maybe
a picture.
the season kicks off.
Yeah. Well, we'll shoot for August.
It'll be June, and he'll be like 2019 top 5 lures.
2019
Oh.
/ 2020. It probably will be the same. It's no joke. So, I mean, it's been the same for like 3 years now. Minus, I might, maybe the Whopper Plopper will make a play because I'm tired of getting beat on that thing. So I'm going to throw the Plopper Whopper.
That was one of Milford's top baits for 2019.
That was one
Nope.
of mine as well.
Yeah, that's coming out on the podcast Tuesday. So if this airs this weekend, then it'll be out Tuesday. We talked.
Does he have a top 5? Like, I figured it'd be 2 things, a jig and a Whopper Plopper.
Well, that's pretty much what it was. But we got on that conversation because of slumps. We were talking about being in fishing slumps and how to get through them and how to change
Those are
it up.
rough.
Yeah.
Those are rough. Sometimes they can
Well-
last a long time too.
Mine was all summer long.
Well, we prefaced the conversation that took place in our group chat when he was
Oh,
frustrated and wanted to sell all his fishing equipment and give up.
Venting. Yep.
Yeah.
Been there. I know a lot of fishermen that have been there.
I
Honestly.
usually give up fishing at least once every time out on the water.
Yeah.
So true.
It runs in my family. There's a saying at the one golf course where my brother works, because my dad and my uncles will go up there and play golf all the time. A shiller quits the game of golf at least once a round. So I can translate that into fishing. I mean, some of my family members have been known to like break clubs in half and throw them in ponds and things like that.
Wow. Has anybody broke a rod over their knee? Has anybody done that?
No. No.
Or is it just me?
I've been really close to not really breaking over my knee, but really, really close to just like throwing it on the ground or whatever in a rage. But then I was like, no, this is like a lot of money in my hand right now. I can't do it.
Well,
Mhm.
that's an interesting conversation, right? Because this is something I've been thinking about a lot because I read and hear about so many people breaking rods. I have never broke a rod except for when I've pretty much broke the tip from my own
Negligence.
Yeah, that's the word.
Mm.
Putting it like in and out of the car
Words are
or
hard.
putting it in the garage. Have
That's
you
how I've
guys?
broken mine.
I know Josh has broke rods like on fish. Like
No, I haven't.
you haven't? I know Brad has.
Brad did. Brad
Oh,
did
Sam
at
did.
Cowan. I broke one last year, and it was when we were pulling our boats up the side of a hill, and they had cut back these weird bushes that had like real like crazy stalks that were like basically kind of wood. And as we were pulling up, my rod kind of slipped sideways, caught one, and we didn't notice it and kept pulling, and it just snapped into 3 pieces. But that's just negligence. That was literally the rod turning at a 90-degree angle at that point and just snapping. So.
What kind of rod did you break, Sam?
Oh, well, I've broken lots of rods over the years. I mean,
high end, middle of the road, low priced.
So when I worked for Gander Mountain back in the day, you got to test a lot of different things and tried a lot of different rods. So I've broken a lot of those. Honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but the higher end rods are easier to break. Maybe it doesn't sound crazy. I mean, if you know much about rod construction, the better the rod, the more sensitive it is, the lighter it is, the more fragile that rod can be.
Yeah, but I think it depends on the quality of the blank too. I mean,
well, sure, but yes, brand new out of the package. It's never seen the road. Yeah, a high quality rod, you should be able to lift a weight with it and not have any problem. But what I'm saying is, when you get up into the higher caliber rods, those blanks that are super lightweight and super sensitive and like paper thin, and you're, putting them in and out of your car, and you're putting them in your rod lockers, and you're putting them inside your kayaks, and you're running up into trees with them when you're fighting a fish on the bank, all those little things that you don't really think about, like that puts a lot of stress on those. And those little hairline cracks, you didn't break your rod on a hook set, you didn't break your rod on a fish. Typically it's because it's had some type of stress put on it that you put on it unintentionally, sometimes intentionally, when you're really mad and you've lost a fish at the boat and you break it over your knee. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so those things happen, which is why having a really great rod cover helps with travel. Like a paddle and fin TRC cover.
Get them.
Available now. Message us at paddle and fin. No, but seriously, a really good rod cover, protects the rod tip, protects the guides, protects the blank. That helps, but still, you know.
Are you selling me right now?
Oh, I'm always selling, baby.
I don't know how I feel about that.
So that's the thing, right? But you can go buy an ugly stick for, what is an ugly stick? $25, $30? You can go buy an ugly stick and you can beat the living daylights out of it. It's made for that. It's made for that. So I've broken a lot of rods. Most of them have been to my own mistakes and frustration and banging them up. But I think
you're rambling at this point.
I tend to do that. So
Just
thanks
saying.
for cutting me off.
You're welcome. Susie, you fish all Kisslers, right?
Almost all.
Okay.
I've got a couple oddballs in there.
Yeah. Never had a problem with those?
Not really. It's, if I've had anything break, it's just because of negligence. And I'd say probably 99% of the time I've broken a rod, which is the rod tip. It's been in the car door.
Yeah.
Stupid.
What about your Fenwicks, Josh? Because you fish pretty much all Fenwicks, right?
All Fenwicks, all lose. And
no issues?
I have not broke a Fenwick rod yet. Now, I've seen people, I've been with people that have, but I've also like a buddy of mine got snagged up in a tree and then did the old, let me whip this thing out for like 30 minutes and then it just snapped.
That usually happens.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
And then he goes, that shit happened. I'm going to return it. And I'm like, wait, what?
Bro, I used the heck out of Gander Mountain's little warranty policy they had. Did you guys shop at Gander Mountain when they were around?
Yeah, well, they reopened one and then they just closed it down out here.
No, that was Gander Outdoors.
Well,
New
yeah,
name, same team, new name.
still Gander in my book.
Failed again. But they had a great little warranty. Like for $6, you could get a warranty on your rod, and you walk in, no matter what you did to it, you just exchanged it.
Yeah,
and if they didn't have that rod anymore, you got a better rod.
It's just interesting. I know. I think it was Brad and Ricketts and a couple other guys. They fished some American tackle rods this year, and it seemed like they all like broke on them. And they had a bad batch of blanks. But I'm on the Elysian team, and I've been fishing. I fished those hard all season long, and I haven't had an issue other than the car door with 2 of them. So it was just interesting. I know they use.
What price range are those Elysian?
The Alpha series, I think, are right around 150. And I think it's a little less for a spinning rod, but and then they have some higher end stuff. But I got 2 of mine are the Arcadian series, which is like a step up. But I got a bunch of the Alpha series ones, and those are the ones that are pretty stellar. But it's interesting. They use a Batson blank. That's why I was wondering what you guys all use. I think Fenwick makes their own blanks. Kistler too, right? Mm-hmm. They make all their own blanks. So I'm just curious. I don't know. I just see a lot of people breaking rods lately, so I was just curious as what your guys' take was on it.
Definitely there are some subpar blanks out there, but I think a lot of it is just the wear and tear we put on them, negligence. Most of the time, Now, there have been. I'll tell you what, Carrot Stick's original line wasn't bad, but then when Boyd left and went to
Duckett.
And man, it's been so long. I don't remember if it was Pretty or Post, but whatever the scenario was, it was either before he left or after he left, and the line was different. Man, they were breaking left and right. I remember those coming back to the store all the time, left and right. Previous model or the model after. Again, I don't remember the timeline there, but there were 2 different generations, and one generation was absolutely terrible. Guys were just bringing them back all the time. Another generation was fine. In fact, I still have one of them. I could probably figure out which generation it was.
Huh. That's crazy.
So, but yeah.
We got Ricketts in here now.
Holy crap. I've never been on a podcast with the Ricketts.
Maybe not. It says he's in the call. We don't hear you if you're in here.
He's just listening to see if we talk trash.
Yeah, dude. That dude, worst ever.
I mean, his little hero shot he's got for his profile pic on Skype makes him look like a true badass, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all the gray in that beard.
Hey, it's working for him.
Well, he's got to make up for him being so short, so it is what it is.
Fair.
Well, while Ricketts is figuring out his technical difficulties.
He's got some fancy gear. He can't figure it out.
No,
he take a class on it.
He called me earlier from it, and it's pretty slick. Good. Pretty slick setup. Yep, he's getting it all dialed in. So
I like
it's cool.
We're all stepping up our pod game.
Right.
Watch out.
Semi-pro,
Hashtag semi-pro. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Susie, our episode is going to be tomorrow.
Sweet.
Talking about the hobbies.
I hear you
right.
now. I can hear you all now.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, I've been seduced.
I had a I had to switch all the settings around in Skype.
Dude, you sound clear.
I just got chills.
I know he's sitting right. No, that's not Ricketts. It's a stuffed bear.
I'm recording all this too to see what it sounds like.
Yeah, we're recording too, man. This is our After Hours podcast, so welcome.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, I haven't laughed that hard listening to any Paddle and Fin podcast till the JD episode that just aired Monday.
Due to Ricketts' seat story?
Yes. Oh gosh.
True story.
I'm sure. I told you. I noticed you walked weird.
The bike. I know.
Showed you the bike. Oh, I wish I had a picture of it right now. I'd share it.
Dude, I bent the seat. Honest to God, I bent the seat down. See
Did you guys catch this episode?
I haven't yet.
Sam?
Oh,
all right. So you got some explaining to do, Ricketts.
Oh, absolutely. So here's how the whole thing went down, dude. I'm just a hobbyist at nature, right? Just a hobbyist at heart. So I got this wild hair that I was going to be a mountain biker. Okay. Now I'm a thick dude. I don't belong on a mountain bike, but I was going to try it anyway. Okay. So every hobby I go into, I research, try to figure it out. So I went to Trek. Trek said, all right, man, we'll get you on this mountain bike. I said, listen, I don't want a cheap one. I want something that's going to hold up. I don't want to buy a cheap bike and then turn around and sell it to get a better one. So I bought like a mid-grade bike. Well, I think it was like $1,200 all in, helmet, backpack, stuff to fix it, right? All in. So I was officially a mountain biker. I had no clue what I was doing. He set up the suspension. He goes, listen, man, the way you set this up, your feet are not supposed to reach the ground. If your feet come off the pedals, you're not supposed to touch the ground. I said, okay. So, I'm 5'8". I'm not a tall dude. So I get going and it's fun, right? I'm like, my buddy showed me the ropes. I'm mountain biking 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. I'm like, all right, this is awesome. This is badass. So then I get cocky. Okay. It's November. It just got done raining. The leaves are wet. I'm ripping through East Fork State Park. It's got a really nice mountain bike trail there. Ripping. I hit a root, and I didn't know it was a root, right? It was just covered up with the leaves. So I hit the root. The front tire kicks out on me. My feet fly off the pedals. I come most of the way off the seat, and I'm cruising, going like downhill. The only thing that's holding me is the tip of the seat, and it's wedged right up my,
This is After Hours, dude. We already decided anything goes,
So it's wedged right up my ass, okay? So we're not going to PG it. It's wedged. It's the tip of it, like an inch or so, is in my ass. Dude,
the way you're talking is making this really creepy. Like, I feel like you're trying to seduce us with your mountain bike seat up your ass story. I'm just saying.
So it gets better, though, right? Keep in mind that I can't touch the ground, and my bike is still going downhill, and it's in the woods.
So it's vibrating, you're saying?
220 pounds resting on the tip of that seat, hitting every damn bump and rock and everything going downhill. And my tailbone took all of it. And, I finally got the bike to stop. My buddy's behind me. I get off the bike. I lay down, and I'm white as a ghost. Get ready to puke and pass out at the same time because it was excruciating. He looked at me. He was like, oh, my God. I said, dude, I just got raped by my mountain bike. I think I'm dying. So went to the hospital
dinner
after
and
that.
Movie.
Yeah, well, we were like 2 miles in, so I rolled 2 miles out,
Lord.
loaded the bike up, and headed to the ER. ER was like, yeah, dude, you're jacked. So I had to sit on one of those blown up donut things for like 2 months, And that was like almost, gosh, man, I guess it was about 2 years ago, and it still hurts, man. Like if I sit on a hard chair or something, it kills me still. So,
oh wow!
Yeah, dude.
Somebody get a broom. It's a mess.
I'm telling you, I sold that damn mountain bike. I sold it. It's gone.
Yeah, he still has a picture.
Dude, you got me look. I'm out here in the garage studio, man, and I'm looking over here at the mountain bike, like scared to death. I'm terrified of this thing now. Like, hey, anybody want a Trek mountain bike? I got one for sale. Hit me up.
It was a killer mountain bike. I just, and I was like, didn't even
it
see the
killed
route,
you,
man.
all right.
Yeah, dude, it was awful. I never want to go through that again.
Gosh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was awful.
Hey, dude, I bet we could rig up a bike seat on your new Blue Sky.
Man, that'd be dope, wouldn't it?
It'd be like pedaling a unicycle, but on the water.
You guys look good tonight, man. It's kind of weird being the one that can see everybody and being hidden over here. I guess no need to put any pants on my end.
Well, Josh asked before we started, do I have to wear pants during this? I told him no, so
Pants
we'll
are
see.
optional.
You gotta be free.
Sam, me and Josh are gonna come smell your beard Saturday morning.
I bet you it smells like cedar, doesn't it? It looks like.
Oh, I'm using some new stuff. The wife is well, she's got a cosmetology license. She went to school for that. That's not what she does anymore. But so she goes to like the fancy cosmetology like shop and gets me all kinds of cool beard stuff. So it doesn't help. It still looks hideous, and but it smells good.
Yeah, that's all she cared. She just didn't want to smell.
Right.
Dude, you got to check out Detroit Grooming. They make some good beard products, bro.
Detroit,
top of the line.
Right.
Is that what turned yours gray?
No, it's not gray anymore. I dyed it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So for
Fresh coat.
reference for the listener, because we're doing a lot of timeline things here. When's this going to air, Brian?
I don't know.
Dog?
Saturday. Sunday.
Saturday. Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll be at the what show is it this weekend? I don't even. There's so many. Tri-State, right? In Hamilton, which is basically a suburb of Columbus, Cincinnati. Yeah.
It's on the
Cool.
west
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
I'll be there. I'm gonna be hanging out at the Accent Fishing booth a little bit, talking about spinnerbaits and buzz baits, and then I'm gonna walk around and do some footage for my different channels and Hoosier Kayak Bassin. Maybe do a little stuff for Paddle and Fin. We'll do some Paddle and Fin go lives. Talk to some of the hosts and go look at some cool products. So that'll be fun.
Heck yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I was at we worked that show last year. When we worked, it was at the Indiana Convention Center right there by the casinos. And dude, the weather was terrible. It was like 2 or 3 inches of snow. Oh, it was terrible. The show was good though. So
last year I hit a lot of the southern shows and like some stuff out east. Went to Connecticut. Was in Tennessee. Hit some of those shows. So I didn't hit anything close to home. So this year I'm trying to hit some more local stuff. I'm still gonna branch out a little bit, but mostly local stuff. There's so many great shows right here in Indiana, Ohio. Man, we got 3. We are lucky.
Yeah, 3 back-to-back big ones. You guys are gonna be rocking on Saturday. It's supposed to be like 64 degrees out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, man, it's tough. Like I've committed to go to these shows, but I'm really wanting to go out and catch my first bass of the year.
No, that's right.
We got some crappy weather coming in this Saturday.
Do we?
Well, they're talking about monsoon type rainfalls for most of the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna start
Starting
here.
Thursday.
It's gonna be gross.
All right, this is after hours. We're not supposed to talk about the weather. That's
all right.
That's like the
Lame.
morning show. That's the morning show. Come on.
Ain't
Let's
nobody got
move on.
time for that.
Let's move on.
So Brian,
Yep.
with the whole podcast and the success of it in the past half year or whatever, what do you feel has been the hardest thing for you?
Can I play the 5th? Is this like Scott Butcher's show where I can play the 5th?
No. It's after hours.
Hot seat. Yeah. You're on it. Got to answer. It's like truth or dare.
I don't know. Next person.
We stumped the Schiller.
I think it just, it's, and I'm not like trying to complain about it. It's just the time consumption on my end. just making sure I always got everything uploaded. Like I always get these messages from Ryan Milford. Hey bro, this isn't right on or like, what did he send the other day? Oh, the season didn't show up on the episode. And that stuff like that is frustrating to me because that's software that we use to upload our podcast. And then I got to go back in and fix it. I hate doing things twice. Sometimes I make that mistake. But review, you know what I mean? We're in nobody's pockets. That's the thing I always worry about. Like, when we all talk about JigMasters Jigs, like I personally love them. I use them. Like
Same.
I don't use any other jig now. And that's an honest thing, but because they're a show supporter, I feel sometimes people might look at that like, oh, we're just saying that because we're supported by that company. But I mean, we're only supported by companies that we believe in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think most people get that. I tend to think that most people understand that. At least I want to think that way. That people understand that, we're supporting brands because we believe in them, and they're supporting us because they believe in us. But I'm sure there are a few out there who think it's like some type of marketing thing.
Well, like Josh and Brad, when they interviewed Michelle from ArachNet, she's like, yeah, they brought up some cons, and she's like, no, I know, like that's been our biggest complaint, and we're going back to the drawing board, and we're making this better this way, and this, that's a company like I could be in line with. At least they know there's an issue, and they're going about fixing it, and they're not hiding from it, so to speak.
Right.
I think that's the key. Whereas if you get somebody like, oh, but that's the thing too, like to that guy's point, we've always been fair where we want those folks to come on and talk about the product because if there is a misconception on our end, they can explain that, So,
yeah.
I mean, but to say that, a bunch of non-educated people is pretty ignorant, in my opinion.
Hey.
When you want
way
your
to
product.
get your product review, bro.
Yeah, right. Well, and a great way to
fair
represent
and
your
unbiased,
brand. Yeah.
Fair and unbiased product review on its way.
Yeah, that guy. Hey, man, I want you guys to review my product, even though you don't know what you're talking about and you're clueless. But here it is, and I want to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have like 100 years of collective fishing experience between the 10 of us.
Well, and there was a situation like, Josh touched on earlier, like next week, he's got a podcast that he did with the dude from Rogue Fishing. And that's because Josh bought some of his stuff and then approached him and said, hey, dude, you interested in doing a pod? I kind of dig your stuff,
I dig it too. He showed me in person.
Oh, yeah. Did he? He showed you it.
He showed me in person. He pulled out this long cord. He said, look at this, Ricketts. It starts out this size and it stretches real big.
Lord have mercy.
I don't know what you folks are doing over there in Ohio, but
it's got a handle on it.
Well, so I think I am going to go fishing this weekend instead of going to Columbus.
It's the cold weather. We're all looking to snuggle.
And smell my beard, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's too funny.
What's Hicks do? I bet Hicks is in bed, dude. I bet he goes to bed about 8:30, 9 o'clock. What do you think?
Well, he still has a curfew. I mean,
nah, he's usually up till about 11.
Is he the youngest?
He's at 11 o'clock.
Is it him or Milford that's the youngest out of the whole group? Milford?
I don't even know the ages of anyone, so I might be the youngest. For all
How old
I know.
are you?
Yes.
29.
I was going to say 28.
Guys are close, but 30.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The dirty close. 30.
The dirty 30.
Susie's like, why are we talking about this?
Turned 30 in October at the Trail Pro Challenge Championship.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's right. We all wish you happy birthday.
Mm-hmm. It was a good birthday.
So, Brian.
Oh my God, why am I getting all these questions?
Every time there's an awkward transition, Josh.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir,
Brian.
Josh. Yes. What's your next question that you're going to stump me with?
Are you happy with the direction that we're headed in?
Awkward silence. Hang on. Which
I did
button says
that
the crickets?
intentionally. Yeah, you got a crickets background?
Yeah, let me see which one it is. Oh, that's not that.
Susie's
There
doing
it is.
Yeah. Crickets.
Cricket. Whoa! Wait.
Crickets.
That's Ricketts' new podcast name. Ricketts Crickets.
Ricketts
Yeah.
crickets.
Crickets.
Dude, they called me crickets all through high school. Ricky Ricardo, crickets, J Ricks. That's everybody calls me J Ricks. That's just my hometown nickname. Ricky Ricardo. Because I used to work construction, get real tan, and they said when I laugh, I look Hispanic, so they used to call me Ricky Ricardo.
Did they ever throw 2 words in front of J Ricks?
Nope, just J Ricks. What up, J Ricks? What's up, man?
Okay.
That's how it went down.
Oh boy. To answer your question, yes. Would you like me to elaborate?
Well, that's up
It's
to
podcast. You're supposed to talk.
you. Yeah, I mean, if we got microphones.
Oh. Yeah, that is a microphone.
Step on up. You've got the platform.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely love the way we're all going. You know, we've all had many conversations on upping the quality of our game, so to speak, and I think everybody's been doing that. And but not only that, but you know, looking at the first 6 months or whatever of having all these segments and stuff. I think we've all really dialed our stuff in from episode 1 of doing the segment to current, right? You know, there's always that nerves. Like I always go back to listen to the first ever Paddle and Fin podcast just to remind myself, you know, where this thing started. And you could definitely tell the difference in my confidence between podcast 1 and podcast 1 million. I don't know, whatever we're on. But I mean, that's the thing, right? And we all found our kind of niche, our comfort zones and stuff like that. I mean, I listened to Susie's podcast today, and you listened to her first one, and you know, her first one, she was kind of nervous, and now she's like, it was good. Like it was a nice flow of conversation all throughout the episode. And I think it's the same thing with Josh, you know, like at first, you know, when it was you and Justin, it was kind of slow and drawn out. And I think that's a big thing. You find your rhythm. I think because Sam does so many live streams and other things with, you know, some of the staffs and stuff he works with, like it was kind of natural for him when he jumped on. I'm sure there was a little bit of nerves there, but, and then, I mean, let's be honest, Ricketts just likes to ramble. Ricketts
I'm a rambler.
Yep. So, you know, he's just a natural talker. You know, look at Jay Randall. He's still not out of his shell.
Where is that dude, by the way? Like, my
He's
goodness.
in a closet.
I haven't seen
Literally.
Jay Randall since he got, like, zeroed at Madison Chain trying to chase down Pike.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's the last I saw of him. He's, like, heartbroken over that, and then he's, like, gone into a hiding spot or something.
No,
waiting for
Jay's
Pike
around.
season to come around.
I just saw him this weekend. I fly fished with him on Sunday.
Oh, good for you. I said I haven't seen him. So
Well,
I don't care that you're hiding in the same rock, under the same rock as him.
well,
Yep.
you know,
I miss his dimples. He's got
That's
the
what I'm
best
saying.
dimples any dude.
Jay-
I've
I
ever
miss
Jay-
the
seen.
man.
I will say Jay does have some very nice dimples.
He's got the best dimples. You can tell he's a lady killer, man. He flashes them suckers up there. Night.
A lot of nice things about Jay.
I love Jay Randall. He's my homie.
Jay's a good dude. He's a good dude. He's been doing a lot of shooting sports, it looks like, lately, right? Shooting and
Yeah.
archery.
Yeah, him and I actually
Lame.
talked to Susie about that one night. He won't shut up about the open invitation that Susie gave him to come down to the farm and shoot guns.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, but
Ooh, what's on the farm? What kind of like you got? What's all down there? You got animals to shoot or targets to shoot?
We just got a lot of farm. We got a lot of farmland. So my parents farm about 2,700 acres, corn and
Wow.
soybeans. And where I grew up, my parents' house, there's a creek that runs by, and we see deer all the time, and of course coyotes. And so if anything, like, we'll just, shoot at the coyotes that come at night or whatever. But I actually grew up shooting a 12 gauge at blackbirds.
nice.
So, yeah, there's like no one behind our house for like miles. So yeah,
You were
we don't have to worry about it.
blasting blackbirds with a 12 gauge?
Yeah.
Susie's a badass, dude.
She's like, you're squawking
Beat me
too
to it.
loud.
You want to hear a
Well,
funny shotgun coyote story? So a friend of mine, he's got a bunch of family farmland, Central Illinois. We used to go down there deer hunting, and we go to the old farmhouse that his grandparents lived in, and now his one cousin lives there. And we were staying there while we were hunting on one of the plots of land or whatever. And I remember the first time I came over there, it's got this beautiful gun case, and it's got all these, rifles, shotguns, handguns, whatever in it. It's just like a windowed gun case. But there's a 12 gauge sitting next to the window, next to the Lazy Boy. And there was empty spots in the gun case. And I'm like, why do you keep a 12 gauge out right next to your Lazy Boy? It's like in the wintertime, them damn coyotes run up and down the ditch, so I just open the window and blast away. Dude sits in his Lazy Boy blasting coyotes out of his front window.
So, do any of you hunt, or any of you?
I haven't hunted since 09, I think.
I haven't hunted in 2 years just because my folks moved and I used to hunt off their land and I strictly bow hunted. And once they moved, I didn't have anywhere to go other than public land, and I don't like fighting that.
I would totally hunt. I've never been a hunter.
So
I would totally do it, but it's like it's another hobby I don't have time for. First of all,
Expensive too.
it's super expensive, especially just to get started. But the thing is, I love wild game though. Like I love eating all those things,
you basically have one initial investment when you first get into it, which could be a couple grand, but I didn't start hunting till I think I was like 30.
Yeah, but is a couple grand, is that realistic? I mean, you gotta have a couple different, like 2 or 3 different styles.
Not necessarily.
Guns, ammo, camo, licensing, permits.
Well, for bow hunting, you need your bow, and I mean, you could find a nice used bow for like $500, $500.
Pretty good bow.
And then you need some camo, tree stand. I mean, you could get into it for a G. You know,
but you don't have. I mean, you can hunt from a cheap ground blind, and if you get on the camo hype train, and that's a real thing. A camo hype train is real because you can get by with Walmart camo depending on your hunting situation, But and if you are a bow hunter, obviously you'll need a bow, but you can also decide, hey, I maybe want to use shotgun or rifle depending on what state, man. So Ohio, you can use pistol caliber rifles or muzzleloaders and shotguns, right? So I have a nice muzzleloader, and that's what I used all through gun season. Even during regular shotgun season, I just used my muzzleloader. But so I mean, if you're savvy, you can get well under 1,000 and get out there and hunt, But if you get into it like we get into fishing, buckle up, it's going to get expensive.
Here's a question: what's the weirdest wild game you've ever ate?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Kangaroo, probably kangaroo.
That's like exotic animal, bro.
Dude, I've had it all, man. I've had it all. So again, I worked at Gander Mountain for a while, and I mean everyone that worked there hunted. So we had all kinds of great stuff in our lunchroom, like everything.
Their carry-ins are like, let's make it as weird as possible.
Really, it was. I will tell you though, one of the most surprising when I tried it, I thought it was going to be disgusting. And actually everyone told me that it was not probably going to be great, but I still tried it and I actually really liked it. It was barbecued goose.
Yeah.
I wanted to try
Like
it.
the breast meat.
Yeah, I don't know, but they went on a goose hunt and they came back and they barbecued all this goose up, and it was really great. I mean, of course they added a lot of spices and different rubs and things like that, but I thought it was kind of greasy.
Yeah,
but it was good.
Greasy.
I had goose once and it tasted like liver, dude. It was disgusting. I was like, this is terrible. Get this shit out of here.
Susie, what's the weirdest thing you've had like that?
I don't know. I haven't had a lot of game before.
Squirrel?
No, I've never had squirrel.
Rabbit?
No.
I had both of those.
I like both those. Rabbit and squirrel stew.
Yeah.
Had that a few times, where it's like cubed up and stuff. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah. I
just saw a video
don't know.
that the Guggen squad put out, and they trapped some raccoons and then fried them up.
Oh no.
That flare, dude.
What?
Yeah.
Who do I need to go after?
He's off the hook, man.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Who do I need to go after? They trapped your family members, bro.
Dude.
The trash pandas, they fried them up in some oil.
How dare they?
I've always wanted
no,
to try
not
squirrel.
me.
I heard it was really good though.
Yeah, it's kind of oily, but it tastes like nuts and berries.
It can be a little tough too if it's not cooked correctly.
Yeah, if you overcook it, it gets rubbery, kind of like venison.
Did you just say it tastes like nuts and berries? I think that totally.
That was like a minute and a half ago, dude.
I was gonna say, where you been?
But I just
Welcome to
again,
the conversation, Sam.
Thank you. Again,
Active
I'm not a great
listening
listener.
skills.
Oh my goodness.
So what do you shoot down there at your farm, Susie, when you go? Shotgun, pistols? Because you guys in Illinois got some pretty tight gun laws going on there.
Yeah, but you could smoke now.
Yeah, that's true.
Man.
Smoke
I'm not
on
condoning
water.
anything. I'm just saying that's a law now.
It is. No, yeah, like I've had shooting days out at the house. I haven't had one in quite a while, but like I've got some friends who like, man, anything under the sun is possible. Like Rugers, 9s. A friend of mine has an AK, shotguns, double barrel shotguns, you name it. It's probably there. So we just set out targets and just have a ball. So
Can I bring my minigun?
sure, why not?
All right, cool.
Susie's starting the Illinois militia down there in central Illinois.
I'm telling you, Virginia's
we're gonna
popping
have-
off, isn't it?
Protesters now.
You ever seen the movie Blues Brothers?
A
Come on.
long time ago.
Really? Dude,
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
that's my favorite movie of all time.
How old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm about to be 38.
She at 40, it's all downhill from there.
Oh,
Found
dude.
a great chest hair the other day.
I got to keep dealing with you and Randall on the OG show. I ain't going to make it to 40.
It's a blessing.
Brian, when's your birthday?
I don't know.
I've never heard him not answer this many questions or avoid it.
You guys are putting me on the platform. What was it, or on the spot? What was your first question that was like something? Oh, what's my biggest aggravation of the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when shit doesn't upload, right? My birthday is February 13th.
Oh, it's coming up.
Ooh.
Day before Valentine's Day. I'm gonna send you some pictures.
I got a present for you.
I'm really scared about that comment. Eldridge holds up the catfish bait.
It's the community catfish bait. It'll get around to everybody.
I'm gonna send a squirt to everybody.
Oh yeah, over the weekend when Randall was up here, he was talking about wanting to go out catfishing, and I was like, "Well, call up Eldridge. He's got the bait for you, bro."
Hey, speaking of catfish, man, when the camera gear comes in, I got a dude lined up. That's pretty good catfish. Man, we're gonna talk about it. Kind of rep the catfisherman.
I
out
thought
there in
you were
the
gonna
world.
like catfish somebody online or something.
Oh,
Said
dude,
he
that
had
would
a
be
camera,
hilarious.
man.
Do some prank calls. That would be great, dude.
Oh jeez.
You know, that's something I haven't thought about since I've had the kayak. Is go my uncle growing up, his family was really big into catfishing, and he would take me out on the river and John boats and stuff, you know, and go catfishing. Man, catch 30, 40, 50, these massive
They get huge.
catfish.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be fun in a kayak. It'd be a little
Catfish
scary,
anglers
but-
get no love out there, man. They don't get really represented at all, and they catch some monster fish.
Well, that's because the rights sector isn't out there representing them. You know, like kind of like the kind of hardcore big river guys catching the big ones like that. They don't get out there and talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
the guys you see anywhere media wise are the dudes sitting there with their blue nightcrawler containers, leaving their trash behind after they got drunk with their buddies all night long.
That drives me. I see that all the time. Living on the
Everywhere.
Ohio River, dude, it's insane. I mean, that's, you know, I pack as much stuff. I have a day pack I carry when I bank fish, you know, and I'll throw crap in there, but it's ridiculous.
But yeah, dude, like, you know, I guess though we got to look at it this way. We all got so tied into bass fishing that's kind of where we're at. Like we're all friends with bass fishermen. We talk about it. We have a pod about it. We're all watching videos about it, following people who bass fish, you know. So I mean, I'm
What
sure
do you
there's
think the draw is? Why do you think that is? I mean, you know, you've got crappie tournaments and like diehard crappie guys and stuff like that, and catfish and guys who target muskie and guys who but there's nothing like the bass fishing world. Why do you
That's
think
where the money's at.
Yep.
That's it. There
Yeah,
is
but
so
before
much
that,
money.
before the money was there, it was like that too, though, right? Like,
Well,
the-
I think you got to look at too. You know, bass is just it's a more unique fish compared to a catfish. I mean, I don't think you necessarily need. I don't want to say skill, but you don't need the.
Shots fired, catfisherman. He said skill.
No, I didn't. I'm
No,
not.
there's
saying
a
skill.
difference. So, in my opinion, if you kind of, it's what I like to compare it to. If you have borderline ADHD problems, kayak fishing is for you because you're constantly on the move, you're constantly switching around, that sort of thing. And catfishing is it can be more of a chill wait. And, you know, they're skilled to it. You got to find the fish, you got to learn baits, all that kind of stuff, you know. But if you're antsy, bass fishing is where it's at, you know.
Yeah, very true.
yeah, it's the action. I think that answers the question right there. It's the action, you know, that nonstop action.
Yeah,
'Cause
this
I
guy
find-
I got lined up. He's not your traditional catfisherman. He don't throw a line out there and just soak it and wait and wait and wait. Dude, he's pretty tactical, man. He'll get on the water. He'll find all this riprap, fallen trees and stuff like that, and he'll maneuver his kayak to where it's resting up right beside there, and he'll drop it down 5 or 6 feet of water, 10, 15, 20 minutes. If nothing hits, he moves on. But when it hits, dude, it's like severe action, man. 1-on-1 right then and there. And you can't sleep on it, so you can't not pay attention to your rod because you have this drag set. There's no bait clicker. It's like wham and it's on. You know, it's pretty cool. He's got a real popular YouTube channel too, man. He's a good dude. So
Let's plug it. What's that YouTube channel? I'll go sub right now.
it's Float Fish Adventures. It used to be Tactical Kayak Angler. Guy's name is Denny. He's a good dude. So he's got some killer catfish video out there,
Is
and
he
he's
Ohio?
he's sponsored. No, he's out Iowa, I believe. He's sponsored by Whisker Seekers. Tackle. Yeah,
Iowa.
Iowa or Nebraska, somewhere out west.
Iowa.
So Ricketts.
What's up?
When are we going to hear the first podcast?
Man, so originally I was going to have it the first
I'm
week of
trying.
January. So, and then I get on this, I'm going to upgrade everything,
Yeah.
So that's when all new equipment, microphone, boards, camera gear is coming in. And so, yeah. So when
Underwear.
I get the camera, underwear. I'm hoping to have everything ready to go by next week. We'll be live.
You going to be on Saturdays or Sundays?
Sundays. I think Sunday's cool, man. Nice chill episode every other Sunday, maybe two times a month.
Every other Sunday.
Yeah, then the OG show every week. What do you think?
Oh, I still got to talk to you? Damn.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Don't listen to the beginning part of this podcast.
So Ricketts, I ended up getting a boom mount for the mic and a shock absorber. I got lights coming tomorrow and a pop filter. It's getting official, man.
What lights did you get? Did you order off Amazon?
Yeah, they were only like $30. They were like these
Nice.
LED lights, so
Yeah, killer.
we'll see. I got a lot of lighting in here. It's just this side is kind of I took the lamp down when I put up the boom, so normally this side's lit up, so I think I might see if somebody needs a light. I know Perry could use one. He tends to be looking like he's sitting in the dark. I know Dustin sometimes looks like he's sitting in the dark too, so
I'm about to upgrade my lighting too because it's pretty harsh.
it doesn't take much really, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
But-
Amazon, you can find tons of cheap lighting on there too. So
this one's just a desktop one. It's like a square with like 60 LEDs in it or something like that.
Mhm.
Came with two of them for $34, $35. So we'll see. I think it plugs in the USB also.
Nice.
I'm not 100% sure what I bought though, to be honest. I was like, that looks simple and cheap.
Some of the best things in life are simple and cheap.
Like Brian. I tried to get his attention. Well, I'm just trying to get your attention while you're staring at your phone.
That's nice. That was real nice.
All three of them are staring at their phone. Look, Susie's got her eyes down. Sam's got his down. Brian's got his down.
Some
think they got
some
our
of us
group
have to
text.
work.
I'm just paying attention here, man.
I'm over here creating graphics for the show. I mean, my goodness. Give me a break.
Jeez. So what shows is everybody going to be at? Fishing shows. I know Sam put up a long ass schedule, so we'll skip him.
I think we just lost Sam too. At least
He froze.
Video.
Froze up. Oh, there he is.
My internet's going out on me.
Now he just looks like he's stoned.
yeah.
Like, oh man,
Yeah.
let
man.
me break out my schedule, bro.
Oh, we lost him. I don't see him on there anymore.
So I know it'll be me and Ricketts and Brad. We will be at oh gosh, what's it called? Why did I just forget the name of the one?
Cincinnati
next week.
Travel Sports
Yeah.
and Boat Show.
Boat show. And it's the 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Yeah.
So
Of
it's
January?
17th from 5 to
Nah.
8 and then 9 to 5 on the
weekend.
weekend. Yeah.
That's in Cincinnati. That is Brian, starts next weekend actually.
Next weekend. Yeah.
And so we got 2 weekends of that, and then we don't have another show until the end of February into March. It's like the 28th through the 1st or something, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And that's the Cincinnati Fishing Expo, which is a extension of what was the Columbus Fishing Expo, and it's so popular in Columbus that they're going to do one in Cincinnati this year. So
It's going to be huge.
it's a fun one. Have you been to the Columbus one before, Ricketts?
No, never been up there, but I heard it was a blast.
It is. It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, and then we're doing seminars on that one. Me, you, and Hicks and Nate.
Yeah. It's gonna be hilarious.
Dude, they're only 30 minutes, thank God, but it's all 3 days.
What are you going to
Can't
talk
wait.
about?
Cold water kayaking, me and Josh are, and then Hicks and Nate are going to talk about intro to kayak fishing. So,
Cold water expert right here, bro.
yeah.
What about you, Suze?
I'll be like, here's what you do. You go up, take your boot off, stick your foot in it, and go, hell no, and walk away.
I'll be at the Schaumburg show.
Yeah,
That's what, like 2.5 weeks away or something like that.
correct. I
Yeah,
think it's the weekend of the 24th or something.
something like that. Yep. So I'll be there Friday afternoon until Sunday afternoon.
Nice. Quest booth.
Yep.
You doing any other shows with them?
Maybe Jeff hasn't sent out if I think he's going to the, what was it called? Tinley Park, maybe?
Yeah.
I think he might be doing that. I'm not certain yet. So,
Very cool. I will be at the Chicago show as well. Well, it's in Schaumburg, but it's called the Chicago Outdoor Fishing and Travel Show. I'll be there Thursday through Sunday. I got the Rockford Boat Show. I believe that's in February, and then the Madison Fishing Show.
nice.
That's usually 3 days, Friday to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I might go to Ohio one day for one of those shows.
Nice.
Don't hurt yourself. You're thinking real hard, bro.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
It's just. So here, I got a good question. Sam's already released his schedule. Sam's show schedule looks like his tournament schedule next year.
Yeah. Must be nice to have a lot of time on it.
Here's a good one. Maybe
Wow.
we'll do this as a wrap up, okay? I think we should all commit one bait this year, right, to catch a fish on, and make it weird, like, or not necessarily weird, but just something that you don't see very often. Anybody got anything in mind? I got one. I'm staring at it right now.
a wacky rigged crayfish.
That's no, dude, no, because that's almost how you fish an actual live crayfish, basically.
Wacky rig?
Sort of, yeah.
You fish crayfish in a weird way, my man.
You hook them in the tail.
No, I'm talking about putting a hook through the center of the body.
Right, but I mean that's like what, that far off. I'm talking about find something weird, man.
Like
Like
what? Like the banjo minnow or something?
It don't have to be an infomercial. It can be a lure, but just like something.
What
that you
about
don't-
like the bottle cap lures, you know? The spinners that are made out of bottle caps.
I've seen those fishing lures that look like penises. I'll send you a couple of those, Josh.
Oh Lord.
Josh is just putting his head down. Josh got a beard too. He's got that perfect little short stubby beard going on.
With the salt and pepper, dude. He
Yeah.
wraps that salt and pepper pretty good.
Yeah, he does, man. I was getting too much salt
Susie,
in mine.
check out Susie's new beard.
I like it. I like it. That's one of those sweet stashes.
Yeah.
You need to grease the ends of it, you know, with the curly Q, and then you'll be Susie Q.
Susie, your Hobie sticker's gone vertical.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Has anybody here ever called Susie on her cell phone?
No, why?
She's
Oh yeah,
got,
I did. Well, we met at Turkey Bowl.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's right.
she had to
Yeah,
let
she's
me
got that ringback tone, and it's
Whoa, wait,
Clarence
what?
Clearwater. What?
CCR.
Yeah.
You have a ringback tone?
Yeah. And it's Susie Q. And she always picks up the damn phone, and I'm like, I was jamming out, bro. Like, why'd you answer? Just hang up. I'll call you back.
It is 2020. You cannot have a ringback tone.
Hey, I dig it, man. I'm jealous. I used to have a ringback tone back in the day.
I've had it.
Can you believe people paid $5 a month to have that?
Yeah.
Mine's like $1 a year.
Yeah, now it's like 99 cents a year, but it's like
tell me-
$5 a month to have unlimited ringback tones.
Stupid.
So can you imagine, like, you get a call me and you get to hear some Beastie Boys or, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
It just-
that'll get me all hyped up to talk to Joe.
No, bro, when I call you, you answer on the first ring. I don't want to listen to some damn music. I want to talk to you. I want to hear that sexy voice.
Oh my gosh, we're so getting I want ringback tones.
Sam's
let's make
getting
this
all
happen.
worked up.
I don't really call people that often anyway. I just message them. You want to talk? Cool. Let's get on Skype and record it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how it all went down
perfect.
this evening. Yeah.
That's how I've been calling Brian lately. I'm like, Brian, texting. You want to jump on Skype real quick? I gotta test some stuff.
Yeah. It's all right.
Oh, man.
I ended up being on the phone with Sam, so it worked out. See?
That's how it all starts.
Sam's
then
like,
we
we should
pulled-
record this.
Yeah. Then we pulled Susie in. She was like, what the hell did I get into? Now Ricketts is like sitting there, you know, running his fingers through his beard going, God, just shut
God,
up.
I just
End
was.
this
I
thing."
literally just was doing that. Dude, you fucking creep me out, man. I don't even have a camera hooked
I'm
up right
outside
now.
your
You saw
window,
that.
bro. On a ladder, looking in.
Wow.
Dude, that was hilarious. I literally was just doing that. Like, damn, my beard's soft tonight.
Oh my God.
Goodness.
So-
if anybody
so you were
is
talking
still
smack about
listening to
me.
this,
You guys want to hear something funny that Ricketts and I are contemplating doing? So we ordered some NRS dry suits. And we are thinking about shooting our own let's fall into the water video and see how we react.
Oh, yeah.
And we're bringing Brad Hicks along for the trip.
I like it. I like
please
it.
bring safety personnel with you.
Yeah,
Like-
we're going to the lake. We're going to be out on the beach. Just a
Yeah.
few feet of water.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We're gonna build
Not
a
deep
fire.
water re-entry.
Okay. Because I'm sure the local fire department would gladly come out and help you test that experience, but please don't go jump off your kayaks or cut a hole and try and be polar bears.
Why not? You can't tell
Yeah.
me that's not good TV, bro.
Yeah. Actually,
Lots of
dude,
things
we
make
have
great TV. Doesn't
we
mean
have
you
a-
do it.
Jackson Coosa at the shop that we had to drill holes in the bottom because it was it came in damaged when it got shipped, and it's just strapped to a tree. And we always throw a joke out there that one of the homeless people in Rockford are going to take it and try paddling across the river instead of having to go up the hill and walk across the bridge. So we could do that, see who can make it the furthest before the boat sinks, crossing the river.
Yeah, that
But-
would be hilarious.
How would you have that competition if it just sinks on the first person?
Well, competition's over. Josh ruined it.
Shallow river. Bring
Yeah.
it back up.
Yeah. I mean, we got a shallow river up the road.
Doesn't that weigh like 400 or 500 pounds, 600 pounds at that point?
There'll be a bunch of us there. Come on.
Susie
I'm
will
down.
lift that with a
I'm-
pinky.
I'm
Yeah.
totally down. I'm not trying to knock it. I'm for sure in.
We'll make Travis go first.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Those that don't know Travis, he's one of the managers over at Rocktown.
Rocktown's finest.
He's a goofy little dude. If you've never met Travis.
Brian's going to be hating having to edit this and go back and we probably should cut that out. We might need to cut that out. I need to fast forward through that.
Yeah, it'll be
Bleep
all right.
this, bleep that.
That was probably not good.
It'll be all right. I'll work it out. Work my magic.
Dude,
All right,
we're
so
only,
we gonna end this thing.
Let's do it.
Let's end this thing. All right. What are we going out on?
Crickets. Where's the crickets?
Let me find them. Hang on, let me find them. Here we go. Here's rim shot. You want to hear rim shot?
Ooh, let's hear the rim shot. That was it.
Here's the harp. I should have
Dude,
played
that
that on the
sounds
mountain
like-
bike story.
I was gonna say that sounds like softcore porn music, and I mean, your mountain bike story just fits that perfectly. So
Here's the intro music. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, a little vibing. Brothers, I don't know what other sound effects this thing's got.
I'm gonna have to type up an apology email to all of my sponsors right now. Oh,
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It's gonna take him like 3 months to edit this. He's like, I keep going through, man, and I think it's good, and then there's just this one slip up somebody has. Start all
somebody
over.
said pornography.
Oh, that was me. That's what he's thinking. That was me. I said it.
Wow.
Oh man.
All right. On that note, tight lines and smooth.
Smooth.
I want to say smooth sailing.
Thanks for tuning in to After Hours with the Paddle and Fin host. We'll see you next time. Peace out.
Bye bye.
Have a good night, y'all.